Hey, what's up, everyone? Steve from socialtransformation.us here. So I mentioned to you guys in the past how I like to start conversations with random people. A lot of the times when I'm walking my dog around here, I'll exchange a few words with some of the homeless people around here, or the people that hang out in front of stores, or just people that stop by and want to say hi to my dog. So, I like starting conversations just with random acquaintances, and usually not serious conversations, just little exchanges. How are you? Comments about the weather, simple things like that. But today I actually had a really interesting conversation with a random guy. There's a place, the place below me has AA meetings, and so that attracts a lot of interesting people with interesting stories, recovering alcoholics, obviously. And earlier today, I was coming up to my apartment and I saw someone there, and I just started a conversation with him. And much older dude, much older man than I am, but he started getting into some really heavy topics from his past, and I was just fascinated by it all. He was telling me stories about uh, being a lieutenant in Cambodia, and having to manage his squad, his crew, and the difficulties with that, and just the horror of being in Cambodia around all this crazy amounts of violence. And he even shared a story about how he had to shoot one of his own guys who was just gravely injured, and basically was asking to be shot to put out of his misery. So I was listening to this guy just tell me all these, incredible stories, that, things that I'll probably never ever go through in any capacity. And he was a really fascinating guy. He then told me about how he used to do Indy race car driving, and he ran the big Indy race. Um, I don't really know too much about car racing, but he's mentioned how he was part of the big Indy car racing scene, and he always wanted to win it, and he never did. And he was tearing up a little bit just thinking about his goal and his dream of wanting to be a top Indy race car driver. And really interesting stuff. He was just sharing with me his desire for speed and going fast and racing, all sorts of things. He used to do the dog sled racing, and racing on bikes, bike marathons, and he was just really into racing. And then he also shared another sad story about one of his friends who was an Indy race car driver, and who got into a severe car crash right in front of him, and passed away. And he was just, sharing just this rich reservoir of stories and experiences that he's had. And it's really fascinating. And I always underestimate how interesting just random people are, and what type of experiences they have, and what type of things they can teach me. And that's why it's so valuable to be able to start conversations with anyone, really. People that you wouldn't even think you would typically relate to. They still have so much interesting things to share. And with an older crowd, it's usually people that they love talking, they love sharing their stories. And from a social anxiety standpoint, it's actually really easy for me to have these conversations with people who are much older than me, and who just love being able to talk and share their stories, and have someone to talk to. A lot of these people don't really have people to talk to. And you don't even, really have to say much. You really just sit there and you listen, and you nod your head and you say wow, and you ask them a couple questions maybe, and they'll just share all these interesting things with you. So yeah, I had the conversation with him for about 30 minutes, and then told him I had to go and shook his hand, and he was just so appreciative of the fact that I was listening to him and his story. I mean, obviously, this guy also has troubles with alcoholism, as because he was, from the AA meeting. So he really just wanted someone he could talk to and someone that would listen. And so I was, more than grateful to be able to be of service to him, to listen to him, and I got a lot out of it too, just because I got to learn from his experiences. And yeah, people are really amazing when they open up to you and when they share things about themselves with you. And it's just it's really a privilege to be a human being and just be able to start conversations with all sorts of different people and learn so much. I think it makes you a better person also, just to listen to your elders and to listen to people who have wildly different experiences from you. And it makes you a more balanced person, makes you a more grateful person. I mean, just hearing this guy's story about having to kill one, not well, he had to put his one of his own guys out of his misery, and he said it was the toughest thing he's ever done, and he still doesn't really know if he did the right thing until this day, because he just has so much guilt about it. But hopefully, just being able to share that with me helped him out a little bit. I think it did, because he was just so appreciative of it. But yeah, that's my little thing for today. Just be interested in people, and you'd be really surprised at how many people are willing to open up to you and have a conversation with you. And if you're someone with social anxiety, you might think that everyone wants to keep to themselves and no one wants to talk to you. But the truth is, everyone is out here craving human connection. Everyone that you see on a daily basis is craving genuine human connection. And when you understand that, then it's easier to just start conversations with people, because you know that deep down everyone does want to be able to have those human connections on a daily basis, even just a simple conversation. And so yeah, it was a nice day as far as that's concerned, very insightful. And I'll just leave you guys off today by saying that I've also extended the amount of time for accepting new students to the social transformation course. So that's going to be open still for another few hours, up until about midnight. So yeah, check that out, socialtransformation.us. And then it's going to be closed by tomorrow, so I'm not going to be allowing any more students after that. So, yep, be good, talk to people, and I hope you guys are enjoying your Monday, and I'll see you guys again soon. Have a good one.